almost there. You ready to see everyone? What? She's looking. You want to see Grant and Mark? You excited? Huh? What? You know where you're at, don't you? Alright guys, you probably don't recognize this car because you haven't seen it yet, but you will recognize these two gentlemen here. So there's Mark, just kidding. There's Mark. And Grant.
Hi, Anastasia. How are you?
Thank you.
I have to edit that.
I'm keeping that in, by the way, that you just said that. We're headed back to, I forgot the name of it, Main Street?
Main Street Restaurant.
Main Street Restaurant.
Saugerties.
Yeah, in Saugerties. It's Tex-Mex food, and you saw it probably in one of my other videos, but we love it so much. And we're meeting one of their friends. His name is Johnny. He's from Texas.
And we're heading down to the Main Street Restaurant in Saugerties, not Sugar Ties, because it's Taco Tuesday. Oh, I gotta keep my eyes on the road.
Yes.
And we love it down there. Like, I'm looking forward to a margarita.
Oh yeah. I wish I could have one of those.
And Amber's gonna have hot sauce, or what we call up north, salsa.
Don't be telling on me now. All my Texas folks will be like,
They'll
Amber,
know
why do you
exactly.
call it that?
Yeah, they'll know. Yeah, well.
Here we go again, deja vu. Woohoo! Taco Tuesday!
I think cheap margaritas.
It's Johnny! Hi! Ooh, it's warm in here.
It is.
Hi! What do we get here? What do we got going on over here?
Working on some leaves for my tabletops, and I'm glazing. They're glazing tiles and a few plates. I'm experimenting with molds for plates that getting a little warping in them, so I don't know how good that's going to be.
Those are pretty.
Well, the color doesn't come out the way it looks when it's just put on. This is a new red that I'm looking.
That's red?
Yep, it'll come out red, mottled with a little bit of black, and I think it'll look more like a fallen leaf than just about anything I've ever used.
That's really cool. Surprising that turns out red. Is it just because of the heat?
When it's fired, it goes through a chemical change. The chemicals in the glaze will, combine with each other, and that combination will alter the color and also the finish. So this is, as it goes on, as it's put on my tile, it will look matte, and then it'll either become very glossy or just like paint at the store, eggshell, satin.
Okay, yeah.
It can be all different things.
And then you have the kiln over here.
And yep.
That thing is huge.
Yep, and that gets up to 2,400 degrees.
Wow.
And it converts this
Oh, look at that.
to that.
That's beautiful.
And it's a pottery tile. And then I have tabletops that I'm going to be doing. Those are my ginkgo leaves. I have a bunch more to do, and that's going to be on a small table. And maybe around the fireplace in the house.
Can I touch it?
Sure.
That is so beautiful. I love the way that turned out. Now, this is not the color you're putting on now, is it?
No, the color that I'm putting on now is more of a ruddy red that like you would see.
Like this color?
Even darker than that.
Okay.
Different colors, different finishes. Like this is a glossy and I'm not fond of glossy. I like more of the matte finishes.
Yeah. I actually like the glossy.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. But
This
one
is definitely
super glossy. Yeah.
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 That was actually a mistake in the fire. It was supposed to come out like this one.
It's
This
a
was my
beautiful
test tile.
mistake.
Well, it is, but see how this one has, just
Yeah.
feel it.
Oh. How does it get that little kind of,
Well,
it's like speckled almost.
there are minerals in the glaze that when they're slow cooled in the kiln, the minerals crystallize and they float to the top of the surface of the glaze, and they call them floats. This is more of a float than I got on this one. Because
You
this
were
one,
really going for this.
I was really going
and
for
you got
this, but I
that.
got this because the temperature in the kiln got too hot.
Okay. Wow. It's like a science, isn't it really?
It really is, and I'm not very good at it, but
Whatever. You're amazing.
I love
Look at
playing
this.
with it.
I guarantee
So-
you people would beg to differ. Oh, I love this one too.
Yeah, this one, see now, another mistake that I made. Firings. There's the one when you use the raw clay and you fire it to bisque, which is a low temperature that opens the pores of the clay, and it also solidifies the tile. I baked it too hot, fired it too high, and it didn't take the glaze the way this one did. It's the same glaze, but you can see
I
on
see.
this one, the glaze got into the clay and held, and in this one, it just kind of moved off.
To the side.
Yep.
Yep.
What's going on, Queen Girl? You're like a little werewolf, Mama.
You are. It's the steak master. That's the steak master. Oh, that looks good. This is the corn master. Corn. Oh my god, that's a lot of corn.
End of season. The last of the red hot corn.
What do we have here?
Broccolini.
I think we'll be having steak sandwiches for lunch tomorrow. There's a lot of steak here.
There we go.
Looks really
Okay.
delicious.
Yum.
Sugar's joining us.
Of course.
Queenie, what you doing?
Would you be?
Destroying.
My tiger. I miss you. It's beautiful. Well, it's a lot different than it was when I first arrived, right?
So lush.
Uh-huh.
It's a nice thing about New York in the summertime. It's so green.
Tiger! Are you muddy, boy?
Just a little
It's
wet.
just wet. Sugar! Bye, baby girl. Oh, sweetheart. Aww. Thank you. I love your kisses.
Sugar kisses.
Hi, Sugar. Bye. I'm gonna miss you guys, really.
Oh,
We're gonna miss you too. It's been great. It's been really enjoyable having you here, and we care a lot about you.
This is it, guys. I'm leaving Mark and Grant's house for the last time while I'm on the East Coast. I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss them a lot, actually. I'm like the sister they never had, and they're like the brothers I never had. Oh, it's a lovely day today. A little bit lovely. I mean, it's cloudy. Sun's starting to come out, but it is a beautiful, beautiful fall day, and it's time to leave the East Coast. I can't believe it's here, but I have been traveling the entire coast from Arizona to Texas to Florida, all the way up to Maine, and then all around the New England area since February this year. and it's time to go back to the West Coast. I've got some van work that needs to be done. I'm gonna do something a little bit different in all of the videos from the East Coast to the West Coast, and that is I'm going to share with you my costs as I travel. A lot of times you guys are asking me like, how much is this, how much is that, how many miles do you put on each day, and I want to kind of just go behind the scenes a little bit and share that with you. So I'm gonna, every single day that I do a video, you're gonna see what the costs were for me on that particular day to travel. At the very end of the series, when I get to the West Coast, we'll tally up the exact total for the trip from here to there. Now I'm taking about 2 weeks to get there. I'm only traveling maybe on an average 3 to 4 hours a day, so I can relax and rest and go sightsee. We're gonna do some stuff along the way. All right, first cost of the day, $16.83 for gas. I was pretty full, but we'll have to get gas, I'm sure, along the way. All right, so my other cost was $5 to dump my tank. Sometimes if you ask at the gas station where you're getting your gas, just ask them if they have a place to dump your tanks. A lot of times they do. This was really inconspicuous, so just right down here was the place to dump. So make sure you leave me a comment and let me know like what you think about this kind of new thing that I'm doing in this particular series, traveling up to the West Coast and the costs associated with it. All right, Lily, you ready, girl? First stop is Pennsylvania. There's Mama go, you cold baby. I'll get you all covered up in the heat on. This is her little winter jacket. Hooked in. There we go. Cover you up here. There we go, girl. Oh, hold on. Let's fix this. There we go. All good? That I have had definitely some challenges here on the East Coast, but that was like when it was really hot and humid. But I have enjoyed so much of my time here on the East Coast, guys. It has so much to offer, and there's so much beauty here and history, and everybody who has helped me out here, I really appreciate it. Your kindness has been amazing, and all the people that I met along my journeys this last year, thank you so much for making it special and for just being there for me and supporting me. I swear I have the best people that surround me. It's an amazing community, so thank you for that. We made it over just west of Buffalo and we had to fill up again, and it was $66.04. Gas is right around $3.37 a gallon. Still a little bit high compared to what it was, I don't know, a couple months ago actually. All right, so we have about another hour and a half maybe before we get to our destination. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about is how do I find places to stay, and on this trip across to the West Coast, everything is going to be free. So let me show you what I do. I have a couple of apps. In particular, I use one called iOverlander a lot of times when I'm in urban areas. When I know I'm going to be camping in the urban area, it just has a lot of the great spots, especially if you are a van. It does have some stuff on there if you're a bigger rig, but you have to read the reviews on it, but they're pretty good about explaining that. I just go into iOverlander here and I click on map. You just click that button to show where you're at, and then I'm going to Erie, and see, it shows all the places here that you can stay at. Here's where I want to stay, Erie. So I click on, I just zoom in a little bit, and it shows me some of the places. So I found this place. There's a Cracker Barrel. There's the Presque Isle Casino. We're going to Presque Isle tomorrow. So I think I've stayed at that Cracker Barrel before, but I want to stay at the casino tonight instead. So if I click on that, I can see if it costs anything. It doesn't. It's free. It says quiet level, good food, good bar, shuttle. There's a bunch of different reviews right here that kind of help you out. So that is where we're headed. And it gives you coordinates, all that kind of stuff. If you go all the way to the bottom, you can click on Google Maps to have it be sent to your Google map. And then that's exactly what I'm doing now. So I have an hour and 22 minutes before I get there. So many times when I'm traveling in urban areas, I do seek out the free places because I'm not getting any hookups, especially with my inverter the way that it is. I'm not going to be hooking up anyways. Why pay for a campground when I don't really need the services that they offer? So free stuff is what I generally go for. It keeps my budget and expenses low. iOverlander, really great app for that. And also Compendium is the other one. Once we get out to the West Coast, I'll show you some more about Compendium. I wanted to give you just a quick fun fact about my trip from the East Coast to the West Coast and give you a little bit of perspective on how long this drive is. So I'm starting out in the Catskills Mountains of New York, and I'm headed all the way to the San Francisco, California area. That's about 3,000 miles. Now, when I went to Alaska 2 years ago, I started off in Salt Lake City. So if you look at the miles from Salt Lake City to the border of Alaska, Yukon Territory, which is the Alcan Highway or Alcan border, it's, you ready for this? 2,576 miles. It is shorter to go to Alaska than it is from the East Coast to the West Coast. And that's even starting out in New York. So that gives you an idea of how long this trip is. It's not fast. It's not always easy. You have to go through Middle America or the Midwest, which is prone to tornadoes and thunderstorms, lightning storms, and all kinds of interesting weather. We also have to go through just the southern area of Wyoming, Salt Lake City area, and Reno, Nevada, which can get snow. So I'm hoping that it's still early in the year that we don't run into any issues. Fingers crossed we get through without any weather problems. We actually came over to the side that's less windy. It's beautiful pine trees.
Lily, what's going on, girl? You smelling? You got all kinds of smells? Hi.
It's time for us to leave for the West Coast. And while there's a part of me that's like super happy about it, there's another part that's kind of sad actually. As you know, the East Coast has been challenging with heat and humidity. But besides that, I've really enjoyed it. Especially as the temperature's cooled off. It's quite nice. And I've enjoyed my time here. I've enjoyed like really concentrating on the New England area over the last couple of months. Going to Maine and New Hampshire, Vermont, and of course New York. It's really, really beautiful here. And I have some amazing friends out here who've, you know, really helped me out. And Mark and Grant, quite amazing guys. They've invited me to come back whenever I want, but alas, it's time to head to the West Coast. There's a part of me that's really sad to leave here because I've enjoyed it. I've been out here since February, starting all the way from Arizona, doing the coastal tour down to Texas, all of the southern states, to Florida, and then up to Maine. So it's been adventurous and it's been really cool to just get to know this area and the people and culture and food and architecture. But it's time to go back to the West Coast because winter's coming. So usually I go to the Southwest, Arizona, California, New Mexico, maybe a little bit of Texas and Baja potentially. And then I also have to get my van fixed. I have the inverter issue still going on. I have a couple of other things that I want Gordon to work on over at Edge Van Works. And then it'll be time for winter. It's gonna be too cold up here. My van is not a 4-season van. So I have to spend it down in the Southwest, generally speaking. So I'm hoping to go to Baja, Mexico. So it's kind of bittersweet. Well guys, that is it for this video and for the East Coast. Hope you follow me along for my adventures out west and maybe to Baja, Mexico. All right guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.